¿Qué tal todos? Estamos activos. Bienvenido. We are now una comunidad of more than 16,300. So big shout out to all y'all that have already subscribed. And if you haven't yet, what you waiting on? In part 1 of this series, I explained how sentences like te lo traigo work. So now that you understand how direct and indirect pronouns work in Spanish, if you still don't, then back up to that lesson and then come back. Now I'm actually going to list out those pronouns and break down some things that can be really confusing. So let's get into it. In English, we have the exact same pronouns for both direct and indirect objects. Me, you, him, her, and it, we, y'all, and them. But Spanish actually treats these slightly differently. So let's start with the direct object pronouns. For me, we have me. You is te. Him, her, or it is either lo or la. Lo for masculine things and people, and la for feminine ones. Us is nos. And them or y'all is los or las. Again, los for masculine things and people, and las for feminine ones. Now for the indirect object pronouns, me, te, and nos are all the same. Gracias a Dios. The only thing that's different is that instead of lo, la, and los, las, we have le and les. So these won't change based on gender. It'll just be le and les. Here's some examples. El profesor me lo enseña. The professor, to me, it teaches. Or, the professor teaches it to me. Lo is the direct object pronoun because it is what is being taught. Me is the indirect object pronoun because it's who it is being taught to. Te lo voy a enviar. To you, it I'm going to send. Or I'm going to send it to you. Again, lo is the direct object because it is what is being sent. Te is the indirect object because it's who it is being sent to. Okay, so those are some more straightforward examples, but here are some common points of confusion. We get confused by sentences like ya le dije. Now that you've learned these rules, you might look at this sentence and say, le comes before the verb, so doesn't that mean it's the direct object? No. This sentence means I already told him or her. We'll just go with her. Her is not what's being told. Something is being told to her. The thing that's confusing about this is that whatever it is that's being told is not mentioned. But we also see that it says le. Le is an indirect object pronoun. So this already lets you know that there is something that is being told that is not le. So this could say something like, ya le dije la verdad. In this case, la verdad would be the direct object because the truth is what is being told. Anytime you talk about telling, giving, sending, or showing something to someone or doing something for them, they are the indirect object. Even if the direct object is not stated, like what we saw with ya le dije. You can't tell people. You can tell something to them. Just like you can't give and show people. You can give or show something to them. Here's another example. If I wanted to say I'm going to look for him, I'd say lo voy a buscar. In this case, him, lo, is the direct object because looking is happening directly to him. He is what is being looked for. But if I wanted to say I'm going to look for him a girlfriend, this is now le voy a buscar una novia. Now he is the indirect object because I'm no longer looking directly for him. I'm looking for a girlfriend for him. Girlfriend is the direct object because I'm looking for the girlfriend. He is just being indirectly impacted by my search for this girlfriend for him. This really highlights the difference between le and lo. These examples don't include yo, tú, él, ella, etc., but they could. Don't let this trip you up. These examples mean the exact same thing. If I say le doy un regalo, you don't know who I'm talking about because it's not clear. This could mean I give him, her, or even you as usted a gift because all of these people use the le pronoun. So to make it more clear who we're talking about, we could just add on a plus whoever it is. Le doy un regalo a Jackie. With our ya le dije la verdad example, we could also say ya le dije la verdad a Juan. So the a, whoever, just adds more clarity about who it is that we're talking about, especially in cases where it's unclear because the pronoun could apply to multiple different people. Here's our last point of confusion and often one of the biggest ones. Earlier, we saw a sentence that looked like te lo voy a enviar. I'm gonna send it to you. But what if I wanted to say I'm gonna send it to him? Wouldn't that be le lo voy a enviar? No. It would be se lo voy a enviar. And that's because when you have these back-to-back el pronouns, they're too hard to actually hear and even really to say. So for that reason, when you have these back-to-back like that, the first one, le, is going to be se. Because doesn't se lo sound much clearer than le lo? The same would be true if this was le la voy a enviar for a feminine object. The le still becomes se. Or even if it was plural, like les lo voy a enviar, it's still going to be se. Se lo voy a enviar. So just remember, lela, lelo, and leslo, no way. We have to change le to se. There's some other ways that you'll see se used in Spanish, but we'll talk about those in another lesson. If you got all this, then scream and shout to the heavens because this is one of the hardest parts about learning Spanish. Direct and indirect object pronouns are a key part of the Spanish language, and they're going to be used in almost every conversation that you have. For the final part of this lesson, I'm going to teach you what reflexive verbs are. So make sure you have this down before you move on to that piece. Gracias por estar aquí. Hasta la próxima.